Welcome to the 2013 RAAM Report. I'm Dave Toll here in Denver, Colorado in our studio, but the real story is out in Annapolis, Maryland, as we have a new world record. All of the numbers I'm going to give you are preliminary, as our officials will need to go back and review all of the data over the last 8 days of racing, or not even 8 days, to tell you the truth. It was 7 days, 22 hours, and 11 minutes going from coast to coast, setting one of the greatest endurance records in mankind's history. It's Christoph Strasser, the fastest man ever across the continent. And we're going to say his preliminary average speed is coming in at 15.56, so he does better that time from 1986 that Pete Pensier's put together at 15.40. We have a new world record here, this epic edition of the Race Across America. Let's grab a word with the man who has done the unbelievable less than 8 days across the United States, Christoph Strasser in Annapolis, Maryland.
The most popular extreme endurance race in the world. In my head, the race was over at Mount Airy because there was the penalty box, and I had a sprint finish to Mount Airy, then going down the whole way to here, to the city dock, to Annapolis, and then through the city. That was very exhausting.
Well, with all the excitement in Annapolis right now with our finish from Strasser, we still have riders out on courses. Obviously, we'll be waiting for our silver standard to be set, and it's starting to look like Danny Wiese is in very good shape to do that. He's actually putting a few more miles between himself and Rito Schock right now. This is a great example of why the live tracker has been so much fun to use here this year. As we've watched Marco Ballo and Pattinson going back and forth, and you can chart how they're doing against each other, as well as how close they're getting to finishing their race across America here at ramrace.org. As we look a little further down our leaderboard, we can see it is the Canadian Jason Lane holding on to the honorable position of the top North American here at the 2013 RAAM. His biggest danger man, as far as riders coming from the same continent, would be Chris Ragsdale. Ragsdale, our top American right now, with Mike Wilson, the man that he'd be worried about. Wilson second in that top American here at RAAM category. As we check in with our solo women, it's the inspirational Maria Parker holding on to her lead. We actually are reporting now that not only has Shauna Hogan dropped out of the race, but we've also seen Kathy Roach-Wallace pull the pin on her 2013 Race Across America effort. So it really does become now an amazing, amazing story. We've talked about this over the last few days, but the will and determination that we're seeing from Maria Parker is certainly something we'll remember from the 2013 RAAM. Well, there's some very unique differences between our solo competition and our team competition. Now, both the solo riders and the team riders rely on the team around the racers. And in our team competition, one of the things that you see is the confidence really building amongst this Allied Forces squad. You know, for every watt, every match that you burn out there, you certainly hate to see that wasted when you come into a transition area where they're not ready or someone is still pumping up the tires of the bike. That is frustrating, and it really will take away the ability of the athletes to push themselves beyond that 100% that's required to break the world record here. 5 days, 5 hours, and 5 minutes. Team Viasat, I'm sure they're watching and seeing what Allied Forces are doing and realizing it's the 1% of the 1% that are going to make the difference as this record continues to look like it's in jeopardy. Some of the records that are in the balance this year would certainly be our Team Viasat at 23.93 miles an hour. That's our 8-man team average. Allied Forces is currently sitting at 24.8. In our 2-man under 50 category, the record is held by Body Exchange Team Pathways. They actually cruised in 2007 at 19.58 miles an hour. This year, it's the Danish team, the Biking Vikings, and they're holding on to an average speed over 20 miles an hour at 20.05 as we check in with them right now. In our 2 women's team under 50 category, also back in 2007, 14.42 miles was the average for Team Phoenix. Well, this year, Power, Pedals, and Ponytails are well above that average at 15.69. Our two-person mixed category, this is one of the unique backstories of this 2013 RAAM. There's a rider named Joel Southern who's tied with Pete Penseers for the most RAAM records. If Joel gets this one, he'll have the most records in the history of this event. He's currently racing with the Flying J's, the speed 18.68. The record is 10.74, so they're going significantly faster than they need to set a new world mark. In our two-person men's 50 to 59 category, it's the Racer Sportif team in 2011 that went across the country with a 17.86 average. This year, it's our Polish friends, the Polish ultra cycling team. They're traveling at 17.72, so they're going to need to pick up the pace if they want to go inside of that time from the Racer Sportif squad. In our four women under 50 category, it's certainly looking like Love, Sweat, and Gears. It's got a good shot to take the record. It's Team Florida back in 1996 that rode across the country in 18.57 miles per hour as their average. It was a 19.22 for the Raw Milk Cats back in 2011, so they're going to have to up their pace just a little bit. We really appreciate everyone following along. The metrics have been amazing this year with the 2013 Race Across America, and there are a lot of uncovered stories out there that we realize that we want to be picking up on, not only in our solo men's and women's category, but the teams as well. It's not just about setting records. A lot of times it's about just finishing this event. As we've mentioned, less than 200 individuals have finished our solo competition, and it's going to be interesting to see, do we set a record this year with a number of solo riders to come across the line? As on so many different levels, the Race Across America is a challenge. It really has been amazing to be a part of the 2013 Race Across America, and we have a long way to go for a lot of our squads out there and solo riders. But I think really the story and the takeaway from today is the tremendous excitement that we're feeling around the cycling world and around the endurance sports world, as this event has clearly caught the tiger by the tail. A huge congratulations going out to Christoph Strasser, and maybe it's now time that we look at other athletes to challenge, like the Lance Armstrongs or the Rebecca Rushes of this world, and see, can we go under 7.5 days across the country? It's certainly going to be interesting to watch what happens with this sport, because this is an exciting time to be a supporter of the Race Across America. I'm Dave Toll. For everyone here at our studio in Denver and our media teams across the country, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll look forward to having you back tomorrow with us on the RAAM Report.